Who in the world is Matthew Colangelo? Trump brings him up in this clip.
You had other instances like Colangelo.
I'm going to teach you about him. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are, and I do my best to bring you the true news as entertainment. So this is back to Alvin Bragg's Goon Squad, Matthew Colangelo. Here is Donald Trump.
You had other instances like Colangelo. Colangelo is a radical left from the DOJ who was put into the state working with Letitia James and then was put into the district attorney's office to run the trial against Trump.
That just came from nowhere from Trump. He starts talking about this guy. I'm like, who? Wait, what? I hadn't heard of him. Well, it's all over Twitter. It's all over the news. And now I'm going to help unpack it for you. Look, here's Mike Davis's Twitter. He's one of my favorite kind of legal minds. He's brilliant. He's very smart, very good. He says, here we go again on Twitter. Criminal defendants, not the government, have the Sixth Amendment rights to a fair, public, and speedy trial. American citizens, not the government, have the First Amendment rights to speak out against the government. And then here he moves into Alvin Bragg, another hyper-partisan Democrat judge, this time Manhattan's Juan Merchan. Juan Merchan is the judge. Alvin Bragg put over Trump in the Stormy Daniels ripoff, stupid, imbecilic case. Juan Merchan illegally gagged Trump before his bogus criminal trial starting next month. So once again, they've gag ordered Trump. That's the news. Here's another headline from the New York Times, breaking news. The judge in Donald Trump's Manhattan criminal trial imposed a gag order that prohibits him from attacking witnesses and prosecutors in the case. Who are they protecting? They're protecting that Colangelo guy. That's what the gag order is for. So you don't know about him. We're going to unpack him. You'll see why this is a truly dangerous Biden-operated hatchet man that probably went through Merrick Garland. They've been hiding him from us, and he's the one orchestrating things behind the scenes in New York, including with Letitia James. Let's expose this goon. First, with Judge Merchan, the judge in charge of that case. This is his daughter, Lauren Merchan, or Merchan. Who's she? She runs Authentic Campaigns. She's the president and partner in this company. Who have they worked for? Biased New York judge's daughter worked for clients like John Tester, Kamala Harris, Adam Schiff, and others. Any of those names sound familiar to you? Is this judge, should he not recuse himself? Compromised. These people, this is like a giant Democrat scumbag operation against Trump. Merchan granted the unconstitutional request by Soros-funded Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, working with former top Biden Department of Justice operative Matthew Colangelo. Are you starting to put the strings together yet? This is quite a cast of goons. Here's Trump.
Colangelo is a radical left from the DOJ who was put into the state working with Letitia James and then was put into the district attorney's office to run the trial against Trump. And that was done by Biden and his thugs also. And did you see the number of people were there? You had Colangelo and behind him, and remember this, Colangelo was a DOJ guy. He's a Biden DOJ guy. Why is he in the Manhattan DA's office trying the case? That in itself is a conflict. He's in the Manhattan DA's office trying the case. I mean, that's called a conflict.
This is, I'll just give you a quick picture of Colangelo. There he is. He came from the DOJ, says Trump, and they inserted him into Alvin Bragg politics so that he could invent this case and start operating these cases on behalf of Biden. This is a tie between Biden and Alvin Bragg and Letitia James, which is a conflict and illegal. Let's get back to another tweet real quick. This is from Insurrection Barbie. The panic occurring in CNN and MSNBC studios today about the implosion of the, quote, Get Trump with Lawfare campaign from the communist left is glorious. They're freaking out that all this stuff is coming out. They don't want you to know. They're a news organization, and they actually want to hide facts from you. That's their new job, not to bring you facts. MSNBC and CNN, their job is to hide facts. Trump really hit a nerve when he pointed out this latest joke of a trial in New York as a direct connect to the Obama-Biden regime, and his name is Matthew Colangelo. This is from Alvin Bragg's office. This chunk of text is when he first appointed him in, I think it was 2020, might have been 22. Public safety requires economic stability, and all New Yorkers deserve to live and work without risk of harassment or wage theft or dangerous workplaces. That's what Alvin Bragg claimed, even though look at what Letitia James did with wage theft, taking Trump's money. We can laugh at this one big time, said District Attorney Bragg. Matthew Colangelo brings a wealth of economic justice experience combined with complex white-collar investigations. That's his specialty. They hired a hitman to go after Trump and construct this stuff. And he has the sound judgment and integrity needed to pursue justice against powerful people. I wonder who Alvin Bragg was talking about. And institutions when they abuse their power. Those who would harass tenants, steal wages, endanger workers, or defraud the public. See, that he's pointing that at Colangelo to go after Trump. Should know that the Manhattan's DA office has never had a stronger, more dedicated team in place to enforce our laws and hold them accountable. Colangelo brings a breadth of relevant experience. Most recently, his 2 years at the Department of Justice under Merrick Garland, where he served as senior leadership position and helped to oversee the antitrust, civil rights, environmental, and natural resources and tax divisions, all Marxist fronts, environmental and natural tax division, including review of significant hate crimes matters, which is how they tamp down free speech. In his time at the New York State Office of the Attorney General, the AG, he was chief counsel for federal initiatives, leading more than 80 lawsuits challenging federal agency action on constitutional and statutory grounds and political grounds. This work included representing 36 states and local governments in a successful challenge to the inclusion of a citizenship question on the decennial census. So he's about getting illegals in as citizens, challenging the federal policy of conducting immigration arrests at state courthouses, supervising civil and criminal labor prosecutions, and investigating the Trump Foundation. Oh, that's why he was hired, Alvin Bragg. You hired someone directly from Biden's Department of Justice who served under Biden to go after a political opponent on the ballot. Here's Trump.
And this is a Biden trial. These are all Biden trials because Colangelo works for Biden. Can you imagine they take a guy out of DOJ and they put him into the Attorney General's office and then into the Manhattan DA's office to go after Trump? These are all Biden trials.
Yes, they are. And here's the rest of that Davis tweet. Why are they so afraid of the American people to know the truth? If there's anyone on the planet who must have the ability to speak out about the judge, court staff, prosecutors, witnesses, and processes, it is the criminal defendant going through the criminal process. It is a very dangerous, destructive precedent. Gagging a criminal defendant turns the U.S. Constitution on its head, from a shield to protect Americans from the government to a sword the government deploys to attack us. The Democrat prosecutors and judges waging this lawfare and election interference against Trump are going to cause the federal and state judiciaries to lose their legitimacy with half the American people. When they lose their legitimacy, they will lose their funding, as they should. The appellate courts, including the Supreme Court of the United States, must end this blatant lawfare and election interference and the Trump 47 DOJ must prosecute this Biden criminal conspiracy to violate Trump's and so many other civil rights. These are republic-ending tactics by Democrats. Davis is trying to defend the rule of law, even as the Democrats are trying to absolutely undermine it and make half of us think it's a joke, because it's a joke. Now, here's the suspicion on Colangelo, because this is what he did. Who leaves a cushy federal job to become a lowly state prosecutor under Soros-funded DA Alvin Bragg? Who does that? That's a huge demotion that Colangelo. It's the first evidence that we have. No one goes from the Department of Justice to going into a dump under as just a mere state prosecutor under Alvin Bragg, unless he was assigned to go there by Biden to start hitting Trump. Only fitting, since the feds passed on this joke of a New York case. Remember, initially the feds said, we're not going to take this. And it was Alvin Bragg under Colangelo that said, we're going to pick it back up with Stormy Daniels.
It's a Biden trial. This is a Biden. There is no trial. There's a Biden trial. Colangelo, the man who stood up, had the nerve to actually stand up and take over. You know, he's been sitting in the background for the last year. Today, he went right up front because they figure he buffaloed the whole public and the writers, including you people. He got them buffaloed. They forgot. They didn't, a little while ago. Time sort of people forget with time. They don't have good memories. I do. They don't have good memories. But Colangelo from the DOJ was put there to go after Trump. And today he stood up and he took over the whole office. He's been running the whole thing. He's been signing the letters. He's been doing things for a long time.
We need to call him Biden's Colangelo, Biden's employee Colangelo, now inserted into New York, supposed to be serving the public, but really the bag man, the goon squad going after Biden's political opponent. Remember that. So to recap, we have a high-level Obama-Biden federal appointee who left his cushy job to be a lowly DA's assistant. Yeah, okay, we all know what this is. And unlike President Trump, we're not bound by gag orders. That's why we're covering it on this channel, guys. Now you can help spread the word, because not many people know who Colangelo is. I need your help in telling people about it by spreading this link. Also, thumbs up on this channel. Leave a comment. It multiplies this thing out all over the internet. I hope you've already subscribed. And here's Trump.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. This is all done by the Democrat Party, and it's all done by Biden and his group. I don't know if it's Biden, because I don't know if Biden is even sharp enough. I don't know if Biden knows what's happening. You want to know the truth? Maybe he does.
He doesn't know if Biden's conscious. Neither do I. I'm Doug in exile.